Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So, I talked about how the Republicans are in a great situation especially when it comes to the United States Senate. We have mostly red states in this here, and usually Class One is usually favored for the GOP. That explains why Republicans ended up winning the United States Senate in 2018, despite having them had a very bad year. So we're going to basically do a prediction regarding the Republicans' best performance. I know it sounds weird because Red Eagle Politics did the same thing. I'm kind of going to be following his routine, of course, not copying everything he does, but basically, I kind of want to follow up of what he does um, and see if I kind of agree with him. I'm not, of course, going to copy his prediction. I'm going to more follow the polls and go when it comes to that. But anyway, let's get started in regards to this. So let's see. We have the current poll situation right now. Um, we have, let's see. This is what it's looking like right now in current regards to the polls. So we have, West Virginia pretty much is the only flip here. We have, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, Ohio. Ohio will go blue. Um, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Texas. I should have done this a long time ago, but all right. This is what it's looking like currently. You say, oh, look, Republicans are pretty much going to win this. It's 50-50. However, Republicans just need one more. So does the Democrats, though. But the thing is, the Democrats, this is all they can do, honestly. The rest of them, there are no tilting states in the polls, unless Texas is pretty much the only, or Florida. But those states, Ted Cruz and Rick Scott, I believe, they have proved themselves that they can hold the line in those states. They can, because we have seen these polls that there are winning in margins past 50. Well, I would say past 5%. So this is a very big score for them. So yeah, this is pretty much the only thing Democrats can do. What else do you guys think you can win? Uh, so yeah, you could win in Ohio, Montana, Arizona, all swing states, and you still wouldn't have enough to win. Yeah, Republicans are in the same situation, but let's just say all they have is Montana, and that's a red state in that. And yes, John Tester is the can easily flip that too. Let's see the current situation in Montana though before we start the prediction. Uh this is the current polling. Yes, John Tester won the most current poll. More of a toss up here. In reality, yes, Tester won the most current poll. I want to poll with Brad Johnson though. I don't think Tim Sheehy is going to do that good. Personally, he's not a politician. He's a CEO. I think you need a politician here. So yes, that's why I have the state of Montana labeled as blue. But yes, we have Oh my gosh, I have still my timer out. Yep. So yeah, we're gonna get started. Let's see here. Yeah, current situation's going for Tammy Baldwin, as we know. I want to check Ohio real quick, and then we're gonna start our uh our election. So yeah, you said Jared Brown pretty much is crushing everyone in the polls as of right now. Predictions, though, it's still saying tossed up. So yeah, this is what our predictions pretty much going to look like. But let's just say Republicans absolutely are rolling it in the elections, and it can't happen because Democrats are now in the same situation as Republicans. They are now divided over Israel and Palestine. We have Democrats that absolutely refuse to support Joe Biden, absolutely refuse to support candidates that support Israel, that vote for the Israel mobilization in the Israel Hamas war. So this would probably really much help Republicans. So overall, this is what I think Republicans' best performance would look like. So let's just say I would honestly really depend on what the candidates you guys get in there. I even think that Vermont can be flipped. What? Yes, I do think for Vermont that can be flipped. Um, Only if you get one guy. And I know we don't all like him. I cannot stand this guy, but he is the only guy who is capable of flipping this solid blue state, and that is the incumbent governor of Vermont, Phil Scott. And the thing is, he's been serving as governor since 2016, and he would have to make the bold decision to run again in this year. Um, you if he does, yeah, you keep Vermont, of course, but and the worst that can happen is yes, Vermont goes blue, obviously, without Governor Phil Scott. To be honest, I care less because Phil Scott is such a progressive liberal. It doesn't really matter if he's a Republican or if he's a Democrat. He leaves the GOP, that's fine. Go ahead. But to be honest with you, it's more important that we have him in the Senate than the governorship because that's how we get things done. Of course, we get things done fiscally and we get the Senate majority leader in. So, yeah, you'll have Phil Scott voting for progressive liberals. That's nevertheless, but I'm not going to put that on there just yet. This is mainly going to be hypothetical, if you will, but I'm going to be obviously doing the close states. Obviously, Ohio, Montana, Arizona. Yes, Republicans have already performed pretty much the best with 53. This is a situation looking like them. And I could say this is what it's going to look like right now, the current state the GOP is in right now. I personally think that this is the only way they can win, unless you get Senator Menendez running in New Jersey. He manages to escape uh, running free in the primary, and that would obviously give us New Jersey. I would say, hey, you know what? In Bernie Sanders versus Phil Scott, I personally think Phil Scott would luck out. It would be a very close election, probably the very closest election in Vermont history in years. So yes, I do think personally, if you get Phil Scott in there, Vermont will flip like we have Montana, a red state that is has or West Virginia, a blue state. I mean, a red state with a blue with a Democrat senator. It's not much of the party. It's much of the political candidate's political view. And in Vermont, they seem to enjoy liberal Republicans, progressive Republicans. They love progressive Republicans. Keep that in mind. But obviously, I do not think Phil Scott has yet signaled his run. You have Gerald Malloy, and he was the veteran and nominee for the U.S. Senate in 2022. Honestly, he couldn't even hold on to this county, the only county winnable in the state of Vermont. He could barely hold on to it. I think it's Essex County. Yeah, and it's solid independent. You have social worker, Democratic primary, John Svit. I can't pronounce his name. Social worker and candidate for U.S. Senate in 2018. He obviously, I don't think, got nominated. Yeah, he got destroyed by Bernie. Well, he didn't get destroyed by Bernie. He just lost the Democratic nomination. Or they didn't get anyone in here. It looks like Democrats are going to be nominating a guy. Even if he does win the Democratic nomination, which he's the only guy in there, I don't think he would do much damage. Bernie Sanders would be winning probably 90% of the progressive vote. So, yeah, as of right now, we're going to have Vermont blue. We're going to have New Jersey blue. And hey, you know what? We could possibly win Wisconsin. We could possibly have a strong enough guy to outbeat a rookie who happens to be a U.S. congressman in the House of Representatives as a Democrat. We could possibly beat her in Michigan. Glenn Youngkin could possibly. Well, let's just bring back Vermont, Jersey, a little bit. Yeah. But Glenn Youngkin could possibly run in this election, and he could possibly defeat Tim Kaine by just a little tiny bit. Who knows? I personally think Tim Kaine would win, but it is indeed possible that he could surprise us. And of course, there is Nevada. We see Nevada also a possible opportunity. It's one of the close states, and the rest. Well, you have. There we go. Yeah, you do have Pennsylvania. And that's pretty much all I think Republicans could do if this was happened to be a miracle, an absolute shock. Of course, I do not think this would happen. Don't get me wrong. The Republicans must have done really, really good in this election, in these set of elections, in order to perform such a miracle over here. But so overall, I do think the best they can perform would be. Yeah, this looks like a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be this prediction right here. This would be the best they would pull off. But what do you guys think in regards to Senate? Am I right? Am I wrong? Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next political episode.